Hello, everyone. It is Thrive Morning Thursday. So this is exciting for me because this is my first live on the fan page since in 2019. So since the new year. This is the first live of 2019. So today's topic, I'm going to jump right in, is create. So you want to create a program. Let's talk about how. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jennifer Cottis. I'm a business coach to solo entrepreneurs. I've been serving solo entrepreneur coaching, service-based solo entrepreneurs since 2010. And right now I primarily help emerging entrepreneurial women create a simple business and a life that they love. And there are two ways that you can work with me, either through private coaching, that's a one-on-one experience, or through my group coaching membership, emergentcommunity.com. You can check out emergent community. So you can check out the emergent community at emergentcommunity.com to see what that's about. And you can get started today for pennies a day. Like it's just awesome. So if you can't afford the private coaching, if you're not in a position, or you just want to get your feet wet into the content, because you can always jump onto private coaching later, then Emergent is a really great way to do that. So without further ado, let's jump into, so you want to create a program. Let's talk about how. So I'm going to try the whiteboard today. So if you notice, this is nothing professional. So we've got a whiteboard, we've got a manila folder, and this is painter's tape. Okay, so this is just like on the fly. I actually reached out to one of my coaching clients yesterday and said, if you wanted to learn something on a Facebook Live this morning, what would that be? So this is my on the fly, how to create a program training. And it may become something more, who knows? Let me know if you love it. And I will do my best to share this information with you. By the way, if you're on live, let me know. Say hello, because I love seeing you here. And if you are on the replay, also let me know. And ask questions along the way. Comment. Let me know if this is resonating with you, or if you have more specific questions that you would like to know about. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so here's the scenario. You are an expert in your field. You have maybe moved away from working your 9 to 5. You want to now start offering your expertise privately. You're thinking about a one-on-one experience, whether that's called coaching or not, or a consultation, or however it is that you work with someone. Or you want to do full-day retreats, workshops, whatever it is that you want to do. I'm going to talk about a program. I'm going to get into an actual course structure a little bit today, but not really. That's not really what this is about, but it's really about taking people through a transformation. So how do you go from all the expertise that is in your head, right? Or that you are seeing that your clients in your niche needs, and then organize that into I want to say a bite-sized process that is manageable, or that resonates really, really well with your audience. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. So taking a look here. So basically, at the beginning, you're going to have a tagline. And a tagline is really, really important, because it's going to outline specifically what the transformation is, what it is that you do, and what you help people with, right? It's their first clue to the transformation and the result that you can help people with. So maybe today I will use an example. I don't know why I've been using this lately. You want to be a confidence coach, okay? So that's really general. There are lots of confidence coaches out there, life coaches even in general, help people work with confidence, self-worth, clarity, life transitions, all of these things that kind of strengthen our gut, let's say, right? Like our confidence, our confidence even moving through life, right? So that's kind of what maybe life coaches do. Health coaches will do that as well. Anyway, so you can do these things from various angles, right? So let's talk about your tagline. So I help women create more confidence and to ask for what they want, okay? So say that's your tagline. So you're starting out, you've got your tagline, you know who you're serving, you know what you're doing for them. And now you can just jump on online or not online, wherever it is that you want to do it, but you're going to start creating content, okay? And that's going to be whether you're organizing it, you're making notes for yourself, but you're creating content. Maybe you're doing vlogs, maybe you're doing blogs, maybe you are creating a workbook, maybe you're writing a book, however that's going to come, okay? But you're going to start creating content, and that might be, if it's in small pieces, it just might be whatever comes to mind and what you want to talk about. And that is a very appropriate way to start honing in on your voice and putting yourself out there in the world, and kind of building your baseline of expertise for others to see, right? So that's normal. Now, here's where it starts to be a bit more concrete for your audience, is the questions. So people are going to listen to your content, they're going to read your content, and they're going to come back to you and start asking you questions. Maybe you're getting crickets, and that's okay. Through your one-on-one interactions, when you are maybe getting feedback on, hey, I want to help people with creating more confidence, can I interview you about what I had in mind, right? Do you struggle with confidence? Can I interview you with what would be helpful for you? So through those conversations, you can start documenting questions. You can find questions in when people are listening to your Facebook Lives and say, hey, I didn't quite understand what you were saying. What is this about? Or how do I deal with this? Or how do I deal with that? How do I get over this hump? How do I get this result, right? So those are your questions. You can also go into Facebook groups, forums. You can search Amazon and look at like Amazon.com in the book section and look at some of the topics that come up under the books, right? That is in your field of expertise. Like maybe you're coming from a confidence coach from being an expert in healing or trauma or abuse, or it could just be energy, right? Your intuition. It could be language and dialogue. There's so many different angles, right, that you can address building confidence for your clients. And so here's where you start putting out content to the things that matter to you and how you can help people, or the topics within that you can help. And then it'll lead to questions, right? So that's where maybe the gaps are, and your clients are coming to you with specific questions. And then that can ultimately lead to a program. So what I want you to do in this content and question category is just start documenting. Write down all the topics that you would love to teach on, and then write down all the questions, and just keep like a running list somewhere, whether it's in an Excel sheet, on a whiteboard in your office, in your living room. I had giant sheets of paper that I was just like, I literally splattered them all over my living room, and just wrote down ideas of what people might be asking, what people need to know, and all that, and to just start seeing the trends. And then from those, you're getting a very clear idea of what it is that you know, what it is that your audience wants to learn, and then from there you can create your program, okay? So, but the key here is that it all has to lead back to your tagline, okay? I'm not a fan of switching up your tagline too often. Like at first, yeah, you're gonna be a bit wobbly with it. You might tweak it, modify it, shorten it, whatever it is that you need to do. But keep in mind that every time you shift and change your tagline, and I do see that someone's on, so if you are there, definitely say hi and let me know who's here and listening, okay? So yeah, so I don't recommend necessarily switching up your tagline too much, because every time you do, you're kind of losing an audience and then having to start over fresh. So stay consistent, and just link back. Where you can kind of shift and change is like the content and the questions as it emerges, right? Oh, hi DJ, how's it going? Thanks for being here today. So yeah, so you go from your tagline, start creating content, start documenting the questions that people are asking you, and then create a program from there. So now here is where we can start getting a bit more concrete and taking what it is that you are documenting and collecting, and then turn that into the transformation and the result. And this actually was life-changing for me, put in this way. Like I've created a lot of programs just throughout my career for people, and like workshops and training and that kind of thing. And then I've done workshops for my clients in like when I started my business in 2010 for about 3 or 4 years. So I've done that, done keynotes and that kind of thing. But this really helped simplify how I can, oh my gosh, craft and more importantly, even communicate the transformation and the result that I'm trying to achieve for my clients, especially online. Good morning, DJ. Thanks for commenting and letting me know that you're here. So, okay, so this is from Stu McLaren and how he describes his a transformational path or a success path. So here's a transformation result. Imagine, say, 5 steps, right? So say step 1 is someone just becoming aware for the first time that, oh, wait a second, I don't really have as much confidence as I'd really like to, and it's really impacting my life. So that's awareness. Then maybe you're talking about a decision. Okay, I really need to do something about this. I would really like to change. You're kind of in that area, right? And then maybe you start here in step 3, you start researching, getting the tools, you start implementing the tools, you know, dabbling in a little bit more concrete. Here you're mastering the tools, and there you are a like super confident individual, and like, you know, you're living the dream, right? So that's kind of what it is. But at each of these stages, you can say, and don't go crazy with this, 3 simple sentences, 1 sentence on what you're thinking, a sentence on what you're feeling, and a sentence on what you're doing. So just that simple description. And this is going to really play a huge piece in how you can communicate to your audience the result and the transformation that you actually want to take them through. Does that make sense? So you're inspired by what's been going on over here with like with the tagline, the content, the questions, and then to lead to the program. And here you can kind of articulate it a little bit more with your message, so that it is, and when you do that, try and use the language that your audience would use, not so much that your expert brain would use. Does that make sense? Because you want to be very relatable to your audience, and that can be a really difficult task. Like if you're a psychologist, like a therapist, a nutrition expert, a fitness expert, try to articulate this section using the words that your audience would likely use themselves. Does that make sense? Okay. So then from here, you can start creating the milestones and actions. So as you move from awareness to decision, from decision to using the tools, to mastering the tools, what are the milestones that they need to reach? And then subsequently, what are the actions that you can help take them through? So now you're starting to actually create a program and activities and essentially a full workshop or a 3-month program or a menu of things of activities and topics that you can take your clients through. And so what this helps you do is to create more substance, to make your programs more concrete. And then now people are really seeing more tangibly what it is that you have to offer, as opposed to saying, I help women create more confidence. Well, okay, how, right? What is your angle? Because I've seen this 1,000 times before. How are you unique? How is this going to fit? How is this going to work for me, right? So now people start to see and start to resonate with how it is that you work, right? So now you are creating your own unique approach to what it is that you do, and that's going to differentiate you from everyone else, because everyone else will have their own unique approach to helping people. Okay, now that's like the big kind of chunk and meat of it. So, and the progression. So if you're maybe confused about or even feeling like you don't have enough substance, maybe you've got that imposter syndrome, right? Like that people talk about. And this is a way that you can say, no, I've got something really, really tangible here. I know that I had all this expertise and stuff in my brain, and I have so much to offer people, but until it becomes a bit more concrete for your audience, then that you kind of tend to feel that disconnect, right? Well, can I really help people? So I'm a huge fan of kind of going through this exercise and then creating very specific menu items for the milestones that you would like people to go through, the action items that they can take. You can do frameworks. Yeah, and you're really collecting questions and content, and over time, as you say answer questions in a Facebook Live or a blog or whatever, they can become actual program or mini course components. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, here is where we're going to get to the difference between the program and the course. So can you guys see this? Okay. So I hope you can see this. This is so awkward, but I'm going to do this anyways. So here's why I'm calling it a program and not a course. So with a program, and I'm kind of going to talk about your custom, more premium approach. So when I work with private clients, for example, yes, I might have a course outline that I can take some people through, but when you're interviewing them and you're really trying to get their needs, they're going to have needs that are more urgent than other needs, right? Or they have very specific concerns that they want to address like right away, and that's the benefit of a premium program, right? Like you can work one-on-one with them to help them. So essentially, when you're going out into the world and you're connecting with people, and you say, well, this is how I help people, you can take all these, the content, the questions, the program, the milestones and actions that you've actually created, like the exercises, and you're essentially building your own database. So then you can go to them and say, I have a menu of topics, options based on your unique needs, right? So say you have actions, exercises, facilitative processes. So you have 15 different topics that you can take people through. That's a lot, but say you have 15 different topics. You can say, in 3 months, I think we can work on these 7 or 10 or whatever. And then if we want to work further, we can kind of go on to that. And you basically get to decide what it is that you want to work on first. Now, with a course, and by the way, you're getting feedback along the way, and it's malleable and adjustable and all that kind of stuff. And you can see that. So, and then as you start working with people in your premium approach, if you can see this, they're asking more questions. So then you can then dig in to a more refined approach for creating a rock solid program for people. Does that make sense? So even when you do a course, you can do that same thing, okay? Well, I love working with one-on-one with people in that kind of interactive setting because it helps me really deep dive into what it is that they need. So you're getting more feedback, you're getting more questions, you're creating more clarity for them and for you. Like it's an iterative process, right? So when you put out a program or a course, it doesn't have to be perfect right away, but you are going back up here and trying to answer their questions and create exercises and actions and facilitative processes or meditations, or that would be really helpful to your audience, right? So you really want to connect with their needs and even try to make that connection between the expertise that you have in your head versus what it is that your audience needs. So it's that iterative process that's going to give you a rock solid program that's going to help give your clients a transformation and a result, okay, that they are looking for. Or an experience too. Like sometimes people will join programs, courses, workshops, retreats for the experience. And that is also going to help differentiate you as a coach, as a facilitator, as a teacher, as an educator, as a personal trainer, as a health coach, whatever it is that you do, okay? So there you go. So now when it's a course, this is where you have to get a little bit more, I want to say, thought out of the progression that you need to take people through. And it's often going to start with a baseline and developing a common language around your topic. So that's lovely because you can, if it's a cohort model, for example, you can bring people on the same page. Like these are the basics that you need to learn, like that I want you all to know, the mindset that I would like you to have going into this course. So that's really important to start off with. And then you're going to be going into the topics and modules. So it's really the lens. So if you're a confidence coach, for example, you're going to talk about language, posture, say self-net or self-worth, right? Those kinds of things. That might just be your baseline communication. And then you're going to get into the topics and modules that you think are most important to that cohort of people that you have brought in. And there you go. So it's really taking this and organizing it into a more standardized approach. So that's the course. So yeah, and then just keep improving and you are a rock solid service provider, whether you do it online, in person, or in person, on retreats, however it is that you do that. So that is how I recommend taking. That was like maybe a long road to get there. But bottom line is, you create your tagline, you start creating content, you listen to the questions that your audience is asking. If they're not asking the questions, reach out, do some interviews, document the exact language that they're using, what's going to resonate with them. You can also go into forums, groups, and see what kinds of questions and struggles people are asking about, and then start creating your program menu options. And then from there, you can even get more articulate and start describing what people are thinking and feeling and doing at each of the stage of the transformation, and turn those into milestones and action items that will create a really, really rock solid result and program for your clients. So I hope that is clear and helpful. I know that it is a lot. Again, though, I offer private coaching. If you want to dig into this a little bit more on that one-on-one level, I also have a group coaching membership called Emergent at emergentcommunity.com. And you can check that out and join today if you like. And it is $37 a month to join that. I made it really accessible for the people that cannot, or at this point, it doesn't make sense for them to pay for the private coaching, the one-on-one coaching. This is a really great way to dabble. There's a ton of resources in there for you that can help you deep dive into some of this stuff. And that's it. And if you are looking for a foundation, watch the How to Thrive on a 10-Hour Business Week training. I give you a Facebook funnel. I help you organize theme days. I give you a time management framework, and then how to offer or price your offer in accordance to your revenue goals, and just to kind of give you that foundation. So when life throws you curveballs, if you can just do that foundation all the time, whether you have 10 hours a week, 20 hours a week, 30 hours a week, then that training is amazing. Just stick to that foundation and your business will continue to grow and thrive. So there you have it. I'm Jennifer Cottis. I will see you on the next Thrive Morning Thursday. Thank you so much for being with me here today.